What's going on, everybody? This is Clint with the Die Hard MMA podcast. This podcast was filmed exclusively for odds.com. Be sure to click the link below. Check it out. We've got everything that you need over there. We've got you covered for every sport. Thank you so much for the support and good luck on all your action this week. All right, we are wrapping things up, everybody. We're getting to the end here. 3 more fights. Featherweight fight, Charles Rosa taking on Darrick Minner. And James, I'll keep this one pretty quick here. These guys are both jiu-jitsu aces. Scrambles, absolutely nuts on the floor. Charles is a high-level BJJ practitioner with incredible submission defense. You saw that in the Thug Nasty fight. He was able to go 15 minutes with one of the hottest prospects in the UFC, put in some really tough spots and gutted his way out of them. He's going to have the striking advantage here over Darrick Minner, a guy that is a one-round or bust type of fighter. He's got 22 wins by submission, 8 losses by submission, so he is a killer-be-killed guy. I feel like Charles Rosa is going to be able to survive the submission onslaught and then turn the tables on him. How do you see this one playing out?
Same thing. This is a close fight. I think both are kind of similar in terms of where they're at in their career. Obviously, Rosa having more UFC experience. He's been a mainstay in the UFC for a while. People forget he went the distance with the Yair Rodriguez years ago, which looking back now, that's actually not bad. That even though I think it was a split decision loss in that one. But Rosa obviously had that injury after the Shane Burgos fight, was off for a while, but came back with a vengeance. Got that quick win over Manny Bermudez. Lost to Mitchell in a pretty one-sided fight. I mean, Mitchell dominated that completely, but then rebounded against Kevin Aguilar, the former LFA featherweight champion. Minner, he broke my heart, a lot of Canadians' hearts in that last fight against TJ
He killed
Laramie.
us all, James.
I was shocked. I was shocked in that fight. Just the result of it, just that Laramie was submitted so quickly. By the way, a lot of people writing Laramie off. He's got a tough fight against Damon Jackson, but I think he'll be back in that one. But
that was a fluke, James. That was a fluke. TJ Laramie will be back. He got caught up against the fence. He did the right submission defense for that move, and he just had nowhere to roll because he got trapped up against the cage. If he had just 1 inch more of space, that submission doesn't happen.
So you mentioned the good point about both of them having good jiu-jitsu. By the way, Darrick Minner, I spoke to both guys before this fight, but Minner obviously now sort of a mainstay at Glory MMA, which you've seen that camp. They've been outstanding over the last little bit. Julian Marquez getting the win on Saturday. You had Kevin Kroom last year. You had Minner himself getting the win over Laramie. That's a well-oiled machine over there. So I like that with Minner, that he's finally at a more structured camp there. Also his buddy Tim Elliott's there now too. So getting a lot of good training there. But I'll tell you what I like in this fight. I like the over 2.5 in this fight is at plus 135. I think I think the jiu-jitsu cancels each other out. Like, I don't see Rosa going out there and getting a quick submission win, and I don't see the same thing with Minner submitting Charles Rosa. Like, Bryce Mitchell can submit Charles Rosa over like the 3-round fight. I don't see Darrick Minner being the guy to do that per se. It's possible Rosa maybe gets like a stoppage win, with his striking, but even then you got to. I mean, it's been a while since you've seen him get like a TKO win in his career. So I think it cancels each other out. I think the over is the way to go, or even just go Rosa by decision in this fight, which right now is plus 280. I think that's great value there for Charles Rosa. His last couple, I mean, yes, he submitted Bermudez, but remember Bermudez had the bad weight cut, and he just, I think, was overconfident in that one. Kyle Bochniak, remember that fight? That was a decision fight. Kevin Aguilar decision. I think that's likely where this goes. So I like the over, and I also like Rosa by decision in this fight.
James, my guy, we have been fighting like brothers all night. We finally agree. That's exactly the spot that I was going to point out on this one. We've seen so many spots where we're like under, violence. The submission defense is going to come into play here. I think the over 2.5 is absolutely the spot. Minner is the one who could get the finish here. Minner is the one that could get the submission here. And even though he has given up some bad opportunities, Rosa isn't much of a finisher. He's got great jiu-jitsu, but you just don't see it on the offensive front. And I think he's going to have a striking advantage, but he doesn't have the power in his hands to end the night. So because of that, I think this one's going to get extended. I think we see the judges' scorecards, and I was going to throw a flyer on Charles Rosa by decision when those props come out myself, because I think you're getting crazy value on turning this guy from a minus 170 favorite into a plus 300 underdog for him to win the way that nobody's going to see coming. I think the over 2.5 is by far the safer spot, because you never know. Maybe Minner, being the bigger, stronger guy, gets the control time, kind of like the Thug Nasty fight. He doesn't get the finish. He might get the nod on the judges' scorecards. But I do think that this is a spot where these guys will kind of cancel each other out, and we end up seeing the judges.
Completely agree. Yeah. We're glad we're on the same page in this one. We'll see about the last 2 fights and see where we stand.
Yeah.